Hi, this is Marc Childs from Childs Davidson. Welcome to our video series on FMCG issues. The recent federal court decision dismissing the unconscionable conduct charges against Woolworths came as a surprise to many, including me. I guess we thought that after the 2014 case against Coles, this one should have been a shoo-in. The ACCC has been criticised in some quarters for choosing to focus on the pattern of behaviour rather than on individual violations against manufacturers in the way that they did in the successful Coles case. I guess what they were trying to do was to establish some new broader principles, and I would have to applaud them for that. We also know just how hard it is to get individual manufacturers to stump up and participate in court because, let's face it, we accept that there is risk that the big retailers are always potentially going to seek reprisals against manufacturers who publicly criticise them. I won't dwell further on the decision itself, other than to say that I'm pretty sure that most suppliers would believe that the ACCC had a just cause. But it's what comes next that should be of concern, I think. Has the decision thrown the door wide open to schemes like Mind the Gap? Well, I'm not sure. I think that Woolworths should be mindful that they might have had a lucky escape here, because had the ACCC decided to pursue the case in terms of violations against individual manufacturers, it might well have been a different outcome. I want to be realistic, however, and I'm certainly not dismissing the possibility that Woolworths and even the other retailers might be emboldened by this decision. But it won't surprise you either for me to return to an old theme that I have talked about on these videos before. The ACCC can tinker at the edges of this with the limited tools at their disposal, but in reality this is as much a political problem as it is a legal problem. The big dominant retailers have an unreasonable amount of market power, and there's always a risk, in my opinion, that they will abuse it. They have a tendency, and they've shown that they're willing to bully suppliers in the past to gain extra payments. We know that they can deny access to the marketplace to certain products and to manufacturers when it suits them. And we also know that they unfairly advantage their own private label products. It's nonsense for the legal test for dominance to be set at 40% market share. We all know that a retailer, even with 20% market share, can have a devastating impact on a supplier if it chooses to. I do understand the political motive of putting downward pressure on prices, but in a market economy, there is no place for unfair practices, no matter how much individual retailer executives might want to tell us that it's normal. Another one of my concerns now is what effect this decision is likely to have on how meaningful the new industry code of practice will be in the future. Woolworths itself does not seem to have given this much support, and the decision may well have the effect of drawing its teeth. My advice to suppliers following this development is twofold. Firstly, you probably should make room in your budget in the short and medium term for an increase in cost of doing business. Secondly, you need to take a very hard look at your trading strategy. Make sure that you're pushing funds towards high quality forms of spend that are activating with shoppers. Don't be sucked in the short term into activity that has a likelihood of being eroded over the medium term. If you need help with this second point, of course, we have a lot of experience in that area, and I'd be happy to hear from you. This is Marc Childs from Childs Davidson. Thank you for watching.